Well, in the beginning, I first used to watch Miss Marple, and I used to sit by the fireside and have a whiskey at the age of 7. Most people would think that outrageous, but no, I used to find the likes of Joan Hickson's Miss Marple an intriguing, pleasant thing about, solving a story. And then one day we went to Oxfordshire as a family, and we were meant to be going to a wedding, and on the way there we stopped at this place. We were staying in a holiday cottage, and a lady who was close to my family, who was due to get married, was murdered, and she was shot with a crossbow on her doorstep, and it was a horrific thing. It changed the lives of myself and my family, and particularly my cousin, who inherited, I think, a lot of her money. I didn't inherit any of her money, but this story is an unsolved story of a lady who was shot on her doorstep, Diana Moores, who was shot with a crossbow on her doorstep. And yes, that was probably the beginning of my introduction to true crime. It did make me think, and it made me more interested in other things, and then ultimately I became more interested in other stories. And for example, I have a friend whose family, they suffered as a result of a man called the Killer Butler, and that was another major story. And this butler killed people and all over England and Scotland, and that was a fascinating thing. And I got more and more interested in these stories of injustice and people being wrongly imprisoned on top of that. And then gradually other things happened, and then I gradually became more involved in things that were more contemporary, such as Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell is someone who's interested me for a very long time. Her father was somebody who I encountered and found to be a truly scary individual. He was a bully, and he treated people very badly. Now, Ghislaine herself, I first encountered weirdly only in 2019, when she appeared at a party in Bibendum restaurant, South Kensington, which strangely was to do with victims of sex trafficking. Given she was a sex trafficker herself, it was most amazing that she attended such an event. And it was an event for women to drive cars from London to Monaco, and she was driving one with Nettie Mason, who was the wife of the Pink Floyd drummer Nick Mason. And nobody really at the event gave a damn about her presence, because they were all interested in Paris Hilton and Chloe Green, who at the time had a bizarre husband who was known as the most sexy felon on the planet or something. And that was all they cared about. And it was rather ironic that this woman, who subsequently disappeared to live in a house called Tucked Away, had been at a party for victims of sex trafficking when she was a sex trafficker. If you like these kind of stories, you can follow more on YouTube at The Steeple Times, or follow us on The Steeple Times on Twitter.